everybody, and welcome back to Quest 64. We are here again in Cull Hazard. Luckily, we are almost through this godforsaken place, and I will mention that this tree being in the middle of this seemingly dead cave serves virtually no purpose. It is never explained why this bountiful forest tree root type thing is here. But it's great because in here there are no encounters, so it's another safe area that you're able to use to either move on through to Normoon or to go back and grind a little bit after all of the area that we spent in last video where there was virtually no safe place and we were getting bombarded by all of the enemies. So it's a nice little scenic walk. And we should be out of here very, very soon. I actually did more than halfway of the cave last video. We should be able to do a little bit of stuff in Normoon in this video, which is great because I like Normoon. It's kind of an interesting little town. This is our last treasure chest in the area. We get the silent flute. And this is what I mean with the scenery changing. Before it was dusty and dull and earthy, and then when you come on through towards Normoon, it's grassy and beautiful and kind of resembles a forest. Or parts of it are anyways, just this little part. And then when you go on through, we get to more cave area. Now, interestingly enough, this is the only quote-unquote cave area that's not safe, which I guess can be a little bit misleading. Because it is a covered area, technically, but it actually doesn't offer you any sort of shelter. If you go to the left, up this way, this is a dead end. However, as far as I know, from what I have seen, you don't get into any encounters in this tunnel because, again, it is another kind of safe area. And this area is completely 100% loaded with blood gels. I don't think you've run into anything else. So if you want to fight hordes of blood gels and get a lot of defense points and agility, then by all means go for it, because you're going to get a lot of points for either dodging their arrows or taking hits from their arrows. So that's pretty sweet. I'm not going to bother with that because I just don't have the patience. I have spent long enough in this friggin' cave. And now we are at the very end of it as we go up this little spiraling area, which seemingly will never ever ever end. And it's pretty pointless because there are no enemies in here, so the last little bit of the cave is just you going through a long tunnel and you're asking yourself if it's ever going to end. Well, eventually it will, and on the other side of it is Normoon. I'm pretty excited to see another town. It's felt like a while since I've seen one. Here we go. A minute of tunnel crawling, and we are in Normoon. This place has a lot to do with the wind and windmills, hence why we needed to come here. Shannon and a couple of the other townspeople had mentioned that the wind has gone completely awry in this area. And there are 3 spirits to collect. I do believe they're all in cornfields, or whatever this is. I don't know. Wheat, I guess, would probably be a little bit more accurate. Anyways, I think they're all in these little fields, and they can be kind of hard to see because of all of the stuff. But just kind of take a look around and see if you can see the little wisps coming out. The first 2 are in this first field. We now have 20 spirits in wind, which is awesome. And let's take a little bit of time while we're here to talk to some of the townspeople. Hey there, have you seen a silver-haired man with razor-sharp eyes? Where has that knave gone? I don't know. He's an important character, we'll have to look for him. Me and my mates are vagabonds. We wander wherever our boots take us, but the other day we stumbled across a precious stone in the woods outside this town. But after we got to this town, the one who was holding it disappeared. People usually like orbs for their immense amounts of power, which is what happened to the King of Dondarn. Somebody stole his orb because they wanted it for power, so it seems like the same thing may or may not have happened here. And if you do use your bread in the cave, good news is that there's fresh bread in this little windmill area, and there's also a place to get bread here as well. I still have a ton of items, so I'm not too worried about it. I think in this area, though, the place where you get the bread isn't obvious. However, our honeypot building is, so let's go in here and let's get our wings. Well, what a cute looking laddie. I'm just a hag, but I am the keeper of the green wings. It is important that you understand that wings will only work in wide open spaces. Thank you, you are probably the 5th person who has told me that. Now stop hitting on me, it's weird. I want to say that the spirit's in here. Let's just take a quick look around. It's in the corner. The eastern corner. And let's put another point into rock, because I think with 16 in rock, we actually get rock level 3, which is pretty awesome. We can now make bigger rocks for our purpose of destruction. I'm just gonna take a look around, talk to some more people, and see if I can find the person who gives me some bread. It's this guy here, Hector, and he actually gives you honey bread, which is sweet, because from this point, or from up until this point, we've only been able to get fresh bread, which restores 50 HP, but now we're gonna start getting honey bread, which is going to restore 100 HP, so we're getting into a bit more of a bigger HP increase. So he's actually right beside the wing building and the last house before you go out to the forest, so that's pretty easy to remember. Keep that in mind. And I know the inn is around here somewhere. So let's go in here and let's talk to Shannon, see what she has to say. Hello, so you two have come to this town. I've heard of a mysterious gem in the Windward Forest with power to control the wind. I heard that a wind sorcerer has been seen there. We can still feel his zephyrs. But for how long, I wonder? I don't know. I don't know what it is with all these people hiding out in forests, but I guess we have to go to yet another forest and catch yet another sorcerer slash thief slash whatever you want to call him. I'm just trying to think if I need to get anything else in this town. I think the only thing I haven't done is loot this windmill, because I do believe this one's got some items too. And so it does. Lots of healing items in here, which is fantastic. I have a real big stockpile of items. My inventory is actually quite ridiculous. I've got all the wings in the game so far. I've got lots of bread. I've got multiple MP recovery. I've also got some stuff to help me in battle, like I've got a silent flute. I've got giant's shoes. I've got the replica, and I've never seen my inventory max out. I've never actually seen the game say, oh my god, you've got so many items, I can't carry anymore. So I hope that doesn't become an issue. If it does, I guess I'll have to remind myself to not be so stingy with the items. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's go and talk to this guy. Particular looking guy. There was a magician in our group who kept to himself. He disappeared not far from here. He might be in the woods. Ah, so that's that silver-haired dude that we're supposed to be looking for. So obviously, just like when we were in Dondarn, a lot of clues as to this guy who has taken off with something, and he's exhibiting very strange behavior. And he's going to be another wind adept, so we're going to have to look out for him. Now, unfortunately, this video is incredibly short, but I don't really have a lot of time to cover what's going on in the forest, and I haven't done a practice run of this area yet, so I don't actually know where to find everything, and I would probably get lost. I don't know how much more grinding I'll have to do either. So I'll have to do a lot of that stuff off screen. But again, we're going to another forest, and it's very generic looking. It's not anything too special. There needs to be a cool forest with blue trees and walking on water. I don't know, something really wacky and outrageous to make these forests not seem so lame. This dungeon isn't very long though, from what I recall. Definitely not as long as Cull Hazard. And a bit more colorful than Cull Hazard as well, which I am definitely excited for. I don't think there's anything else that, or anybody else who I haven't really talked to. I talked to the 3 members of the group, and they were mentioning that they're vagabonds. I talked to this creepy looking guy here, the fat dude over here, and I talked to the other guy in the forest. And once you talk to them, you'll pretty much get an idea about their 4th member who's disappeared. And of course, if you talk to Shannon, she always gives you good advice. So that's going to be our next objective. And hopefully, by defeating this sorcerer or finding this sorcerer, we can get some answers. And we can also get wind moving back in Normoon so that we can continue on our adventure. So I'm going to cut things off here. A nice short video for everybody today. I'm a little bit exhausted after going through Cull Hazard, so once I figured things out, I will meet you back here, and I will go from there. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope that I will see you next time.